Boom. Let's talk about fear. And this is going to be a challenge I had zero preparation for. I want to do 90 seconds of holding my breath. The challenge says basically face your fear of pretty much dying, which is one of the biggest fears. And once I solve, or anybody solves that fear, and once you're not afraid of dying, you're not afraid of pretty much anything, right? So, hey, if anybody's watching, can you just confirm my microphone level is good? This is my first time doing the live stream using the webcam option on YouTube. I just want to make it quick and easy so I can jump on really quick and you guys can watch anytime I'm live streaming. So the easier I make my live streams, the more I'll do them and the more you guys can watch them. So basically, I've only held my breath most of my life for about 30 seconds. I never ever did any training. I never did any swimming professionally. I was always really bad at holding my breath. So I heard it's really easy to hold your breath for a long time if you I think it's called hyperventilation, when you get a lot of oxygen in your blood by breathing really quickly. It goes along something like the Wim Hof method. I'm pretty sure most of you heard about it, or can easily Google it, or you find it on YouTube. I watched it a really long time ago. I don't know how to do the Wim Hof method. I'll do something really similar, I assume, with like something that from my memory. I'm not gonna go and research it right now and see if it works. I'm gonna attempt and holding a minute. So I did a quick test outside today when I was just working and helping my family and making a giant feast. I was able to hold my breath for 60 seconds just by breathing really quickly. And the way it works is you take really deep breaths, and by doing it like as if you're running, but you're sitting still. And what ends up happening is your oxygen level in your blood jumps up, and you actually start tingling. Your fingers start tingling. When your fingers start tingling, that's a perfect time to hold your breath. Now, this is my assumption. I have no idea if it'll work or not. I say let's just go with it, and you guys are welcome to watch me do it online. Basically, the whole purpose of this is so the more fears we face, the more we're comfortable with ourselves, and the more we're less afraid of other people, less afraid of the society, less afraid of the world, and we do things with more courage. And when you do things with more courage, you have more chances of success. So, welcome to this really random live stream. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, also at the end, I'm gonna share 3 things which, let's see, 3 controversial opinions or ideas that I'm afraid that I'll be judged for. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that are pretty extreme, that are my crazy opinions. I'm not saying they're true or not. They're just my personal opinions. And most people will disagree or agree with them quite drastically. It's really hardcore opinions. It's the most hardcore opinions I have about anything. I'll save that to the end. Right now, I'm going to put my mic a bit more far away, take a couple like really deep breaths, maybe like for 15 seconds, and then start holding the timer and see if I can do 90 seconds. This is my first attempt. I don't know what will happen. I guess the worst case scenario and the most fun case scenario for you guys watching is I might pass out. So that'll be pretty stupid or funny for you guys watching. And I don't think anything will go wrong. I'm not afraid of anything going wrong. I believe that everything's perfect. So yeah, I mean, I have family in this house, so they'll find me if I pass out in this office. You guys just watch me laying down if anything happens, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the chat. If you guys have anything to say, I'm about to hold my breath for 90 seconds, or I'll attempt to. Okay, let's do a couple of really quick breaths. So I'm going to breathe really quickly. Boom. Wow. I actually got 2 minutes. That's crazy. The most I did was a minute. I did that today. 2 minutes, 2 seconds. That's impressive. I just really I guess when I was reading really really fast, my heart was beating really really hard, and it was really really like easy to notice. Now what I did was I just really focused on the beat of my heart and nothing else. I totally forgot about breathing. So I guess I did a little bit of meditation in my life. I never meditated like really hardcore. So this a little bit of meditation helped me learn how to focus, and focusing on my heart was really like peaceful. And I slowed boop, 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 boop. Like it was, it began with less and less. So the more I focused on the beat of my heart, the more it slowed down, like boo, boo, boo. And just by focusing on my heart, like I'm not even looking at the clock. The less I looked at a clock, the easier it was. I believe if I didn't look at a clock, I could have done like even more than 2 minutes. People say 2-3 minutes is quite easy to do, as long as you're not like thinking about breathing. The moment you start looking at the clock is when your brain's like, oh my god, I didn't breathe. It's that fear we feel when we look at the clock. I bet if I was just meditating and not looking at the clock and just focusing on beating my heart and just being inside my body, I actually have enough oxygen to probably last a good 3 to 4 minutes. I assume. I mean, the world record is like what, 10 or 20 minutes. My friend did like 2 minutes and 40 seconds pretty easily with just like a couple tries, maybe like over a week or so. This is my third attempt today. I did one attempt today. It was 30 seconds with zero preparation, with like breathing a lot, just breathing like as deep as possible. I was able to like hyperventilate myself and just get a bunch of oxygen. I started tingling. As soon as my fingers started tingling, I was like, and held my breath. And then like, my fingers started tingling really, really, really crazily, like after the first 15 seconds. And then like as my body started using up the oxygen, my heart was really beating really, really quickly. My fingers stopped tingling really, really quickly. I would say around 30 seconds. And then about a minute and 30 was actually quite easy, as long as it didn't focus on the clock. But then the last 30 seconds, I felt this, kind of pain in my chest. But because I was never, my lungs were not used to not breathing. So that was that pain I felt because I realized I didn't breathe. I feel like if I knew, if I didn't look at the clock and I didn't realize I haven't took a breath for the last minute and a half, I would not, clench up and feel that kind of, I have a little bit of pain in my lungs right now. But that's probably just from me tensing up. Probably if you're relaxed, I bet it's like way easier. So if you guys are still here on this live stream, I'm gonna share on bonus 3 things that are really crazy, and it's gonna be another social freedom challenge, like 2 in 1. So thank you guys for watching this long live stream of 10 minutes. And for you guys watching the replay, that's pretty cool. If you actually sat there and watched me hold my breath for entire 2 minutes, that's pretty cool. Like leave a comment if you watch the entire 2 minutes. Like that's respect for just sitting there and watching me. It's nice, having somebody kind of witness you and sharing that experience with you. How about you guys can do the same. And you guys can go play the video back and like do the same thing. He's better listening to you live without cutting between. Yeah, this is there's no edits on this one. I'm probably gonna say some words like or make pauses. I don't know if you guys can comment what you think, if it's better for me to talk like this or have edits and be like more smooth and not have these weird pauses where I'm kind of thinking what I'm gonna say in the future, because I am holding a monologue for 11 minutes now. So there's no script. I never prepared for this video. I just turned on the webcam on the YouTube live stream studio. So yeah, hell no. Okay. Not holding my breath will die. Well, that's the whole point. If you hold your breath and you realize you will not die, and dying is actually not that easy. Like people think it's you die like this. It's actually pretty hard to squeeze the soul out of someone's physical body. Um, yeah, it's definitely not as scary as people imagine. That's the whole point of this exercise is facing your fear of death. Once you realize it's like, oh, I'm actually quite peaceful. But it's actually that's one thing I didn't say. Well, I couldn't speak as I was holding my breath, but you feel really peaceful. Like at 1 minute and 30 seconds, I just felt this peace, and then a minute at 55, I felt hell. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore. Am I gonna die? Because I was pushing, I pushed over my limit of comfort, like at least 10, 20 seconds of just pain. But if I was relaxed, it would be like, I would not feel pain. So if you're still here, let me tell you 3 opinions which are quite extreme about me. This is something most of you will not agree with. This is not the point of these opinions is not for you to agree or disagree. You either love them or hate them. That they're very extreme opinions of mine, but I'm going to share them publicly, just for the sake of not having a mask and just dropping the mask and be like, this is my crazy self. It's a bit it's a bit nervous. I'm prolonging right now. I'm procrastinating and debating whether I should actually say them or not, because it's tough. Everyone judges you for. But here we go. For the sake of the Social Freedom Challenge, which I'm doing right now, this is the challenge number 2 for this week. Share 3 things that are extreme opinions of yours, which people will judge. So the first opinion is I do not believe in monogamy, which means I don't believe in possessing or limiting yourself to a single person for the rest of your life. Now, let me explain why this is my belief. Now, a lot of you will say this is crazy, or it's unorthodox, or it's against marriage, or it's against households, against family. But it's not. It's actually not about sex for me. It's about possession, and it's about jealousy. By being non-monogamous, which is quite crazy, and there's very, very few people that do it. It's becoming more and more popular as as we're transitioning as a human race, but it's still kind of seen as very out there, very, very like hippie, very, very crazy, very like too open-minded, a hedonist, or like Satanist. Just people have really crazy opinions about this. But at the end of the day, I just don't believe you should own another soul, nor do you have the right to own anybody else. And I don't believe that we should have jealousy. Now, jealousy is a deep emotion, just like fear is. I believe jealousy is a form of fear. So if you're jealous of your partner being with somebody else, then you have some personal issues you haven't dealt with. That it has some emotions that you haven't handled. If I think jealousy is the hardest emotion for most humans to handle. So it's just. I'm not saying you're bad if you have jealousy. I'm just saying you have to be very, very emotionally stable and evolved and really, really work on your emotions to not feel jealousy. It'll always be there, just like fear is always there in some small amount, but it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's why I don't believe humans are meant to be monogamous, nor do I believe that I want to be monogamous, nor do I want to believe that my girlfriend should be monogamous. At the moment, we are monogamous. It's just how it is. But if the opportunity came and we were both happy and we didn't judge each other and we didn't lock each other down, or we're not selfish to keep her to myself, or she keeps me to herself, I do believe that it will be more better for the long term. Because if you feel you like somebody, you should talk to them. If you feel you want to touch somebody, you should hug them. If you feel sexual excitement for somebody and they feel the same thing and opportunity is there, and you're not hiding anything, you're not lying, I believe you should do it. But that's my crazy opinion, number 1. There's a lot of comments here, so let's read the comments first. So Sleepy Cod believes that it's way better than recordings because it's not cutting in and out. Yep, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, if you will pass out, your body will just start breathing again. Yeah, there's nothing bad that can happen. Worst case scenario, we might get some sleep. um, you should wear a mask if you have one in public. No, I don't believe in masks. Not even for coronavirus. I can't believe, don't believe this, that this is an outage or something. Yeah, and a lot. Mike says a lot of marriages fail. For many people, monogamy is great, but poly shouldn't be so controversial. Yeah, as we as we as human beings and as this society which is evolving and being more and more and more civilized, because we're pretty primitive right now. We have some really primitive fears which lead us as a society. I mean, most of our politics and most of our governance is based on fear. So that's pretty sad. And like bosses, most bosses control their employees through fear. I'm gonna fire you. You will not have money. You will not have food. Like that's pretty bad. It should not be fear based. It should be, kindness, love based. But that just sounds woo woo and hippie. But I guess hippies were right about that. When you actually get into philosophy, I think hippies got a lot of shit right. And Indians were actually pretty advanced too. As like emotionally and when it comes to philosophy, but that's a whole different story. Now, the crazy opinion number 2 is, this is my personal out there opinion. I'm gonna share for the sake of facing my fear of being judged. You're welcome to listen and judge me all you want. Hopefully, you will either hate me or love me, because that's the point of this video. You're not supposed to be flatlining here. You're supposed to have an opinion about me having an opinion, because that's fun, right? It'd be boring if you didn't judge me on this one. I believe that my vaccines were a mistake, and I feel that my 2 surgeries were a mistake. I had my tonsils in the back of my throat removed, and I had a wart removed by a laser, and a mole when the wart was getting removed. So I believe that was a mistake. I believe that if you try to fix your body through a syringe or through a vaccine, you're playing God. And if my knowledge of history is correct, no, this is some really out there history, which is not too popular, and obviously it's not popular for really controversial reasons. That it happens to not go along with the government, but whatever. If my knowledge of really old history is correct, the reason the race of Atlanteans disappeared was because they were trying to play God, and they did with technology what we're doing right now at a way more advanced level. They were actually, I believe, they're more technologically more advanced than we are right now, and will be for another 100 years or so. So they were playing God, playing with syringes, and it came back at them, and entire continents disappeared like that. That's what I believe happened, in the history, the old ancient history of this earth, like 10,000 years ago or something. So having vaccines in your body is you forcing your immune system to do something that you think you're doing a better job than it will do by itself. So you're literally playing with evolution, and it's something you should not do, because nature always wins. Nature always wins in the long term, because this planet will exist with or without us. If we don't play along, we'll just disappear like many races on this planet before us. But that's really controversial history here. That's not too public, and most people will say it's woo-woo history. It's not real because it's not in the history books. So let's not talk about that. Let's talk about actual crazy opinions. So me getting vaccinated, I wish I didn't get vaccinated, but it's history. Whatever happened. It's what makes me who I am, and they're just the more handicaps you have and the tougher your life is, the more of a challenge you have, right? If life is like a video game, the harder your life is, the more of a professional player you are, because you took life on difficult mode. You're not playing easy mode. You're not some rich prince. You're some guy with tough parents or tough neighborhood, or handicaps, or like really toxic water, toxic air. Yeah, welcome to video game life on hard mode. That's pretty cool. Good job for signing up for this hard mode. So if I had a choice, I wish I did not get vaccinated. I wish my body would develop its own immune system, and that nature and natural selection would make me either stronger or weaker, whatever happens. Is this the bottom of NLC2? Maybe that's a good idea. That's a good idea for a video. I think it's not. But yeah, I'll do a more financial video next time. Keep your questions for that one. We'll do a financial live stream next. Is that cool, guys? And crazy opinion number 3. Wow, 22 minutes and almost 22 seconds. Thank you for being here. If you watch the whole thing, you're cool. Crazy opinion number 3 is I believe funeral is a lie. It's one of the biggest scams since Coca-Cola. So this is actually really crazy. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say this out loud. So this is the first time I'm saying this crazy opinion out there, as far as I know. I believe that funerals are the biggest money scams. I think it's a bigger scam than Social Security and lottery and pension funds, because death should not be a tax. You should not be spending on average in a country like Serbia, right, where the minimum wage is like $200-300, right? An average person spends about $1,000 on a funeral in a country where minimum wage is $300. So if your relative dies, half of your salary for the next couple of months, or for the year, is gone. Even if you're in America, what's an average cost of a funeral? Like $10,000 for what? For a dead person? Who cares? He's dead. Yeah, it's a loved one. So what? Cherish him. Don't worship him. He's not a god. You should cherish the memories, not spend money on him. Money should be for the living, not for the dead. This is a really crazy opinion. I know most of you will disagree. Yes, I had a grandma pass away 3 months ago. So don't tell me, oh my God, mine so and so passed away. So how dare you say that? Well, you know what? Guess what? My grandma died, a couple months ago. So what? She's a better place now. I'm happy for her. It's better to not feel pain than to have it's better to die than to have horrible life at 80. Whatever. If you're not enjoying life, you should not be alive. If you're enjoying life, life is for being alive. That's my really hardcore belief. And if we took all the money, if we multiplied the number of citizens and people on this planet by $1,000, right? Even if that's the lowest amount an average person spends for a funeral, let's not take in $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, or however much you spend, in the Western countries like America, England, or so on, right? I don't know what the funeral cost is over there. So, where does it go? It goes to the government. It goes to the religions or whatever, and it goes. It's just a tax on dying, right? Yeah, profit on death is the most ruthless thing ever. Those people should be arrested. It's like, really? Profiting. I feel like when people actually analyzed every single tax the government imposes on them, it will end up being 80% on everything we make. Because if you gotta take into account stuff like tobacco, oil, alcohol, drugs. Oh, let's not talk about that one because it's really controversial. And then we have like taxes on the stuff you make, right? On every product you buy, on imports, exports, right? And then taxes of profits as a company. So by the time that piece of bread gets to you, or that gallon of oil or gasoline, if gasoline costs, I don't know, $3, $2.50 went to the government. That's just off of gasoline, right? Or something. But whereas every single product you buy has tax, and then there's tax on top of tax, then there's tax on top of tax, then there's funerals, and then there's I don't know, hospitals. Every time a child is born, how much money is spent with children being born, and how much money is spent on military, how much money is spent on everything. You see in countries like Mexico or anywhere in Eastern Europe or any cheaper country or more poor country, you see the politicians making mansions of like, I don't know, like 8 stories, right? And the average person, can barely afford like a 1-bedroom apartment in the shitty ghetto part of like some shitty city, with really low quality, like really horrible air and horrible water and the worst food. Like it's a miracle of our bodies survive 50 years off of the food and water and air we breathe, and the toxic the toxic shit we put in our bodies, right? So, and then death comes, and yeah, you're dead, whatever, you don't care, you're dead, but your relatives are fucked. They have to end up paying like thousands of dollars. So it's like, just when you end up getting ahead in life, your relative dies, and then all your friends and family expect you to have nice grave for your relative, because that's what's socially acceptable. But if you, I guess, I believe if everybody just added up, like it would start, like it took a whole day, just sat with a notepad and a piece of paper and a pen and added up every single goddamn slice the government takes, like it's gonna end up being like 80%. And if like 5% of people did that, governments would not exist tomorrow. Oh yeah, marriage cost. This what? Yeah, like by the time like marriage, which is supposed to be the happiest part of your life, like, and 3 days later you're in debt. Like really? So the average person, like, who knows how much money they spend on being born, then on getting married and dying. Like 3 things almost everybody does on this planet. If you added those costs together, that's like a $1 jillion. If we just stopped, what if we took all the money we put into graves and funerals and those stupid marble things they put on graves, and give it to the people who don't have money for food? We would stop hunger tomorrow. I mean, we would stop like death of infants because of like starvation tomorrow. I mean, we would stop most problems tomorrow. Just by if every single person took the money they spent on funerals and just gave it to a charity or something, like a real charity. No, not a scam charity. Most charities are government scams. But that's another topic. Like let's stop hating the government. They're perfect as they are. They're perfect. I mean, everything's perfect. Things have to be bad so they can change. So I guess things are perfect, right? Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go too. It's been 30 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. And those have been my 3 crazy opinions that are really, really out there that I really, really believe. Now, if you don't agree, that's cool, man. I'm just another person. I'll talk about some other cool stuff that you will agree with, because if we all agreed, it would be no fun. It'd be boring. We'd be all the same. We're not supposed to be clones. We're supposed to be unique. So let's have some constructive conversations, and let's disagree. Let's disagree for once, and let's find some solutions for this world, right? Let's make this place a better place. And I guess the first thing to do is to start with yourself. Can you hold your breath for 2 minutes? I just did it for the first time in my life. Give it a try. Just watch this video. It's at like 3 or 4 minutes of this video. It's pretty easy. I'm sure you can do at least 1 minute. It's super easy. Just do what I did.